Welcome to Bavaria, everybody, where the beer is plentiful and a summer festival is underway behind me at the Marcus Wassmeyer Museum. I'm in Schliersee, Germany, and this was actually the site of the very first Dekeyser&Friends project, but that is not the only reason why I'm here. The theme for this week is time travel. Don't laugh, this museum is actually built to make you feel like you were living 300 years ago. And you'll learn more about Marcus Wassmeyer and his museum a little later, but first we're going to go even further back in time to the beginning of the universe. Going to head down to CERN, the Center for European Nuclear Research, where scientists are discovering more about the Big Bang. And you'll see what I discovered later. And with that, I'll send you on your time travels. Have fun. To call this my personal tour of the universe.
Let's go!
A rare inside look at the world's largest particle physics lab, the infamous CERN.
This here is a CMS detector.
This massive machine helped scientists learn more about the Big Bang, but what blew me away even more was this woman's passion for particles.
Anytime I come in, I get a rush. How often do you get to go to work and ask questions like, well, what was there at the beginning of the universe? What was there in the first teeny fraction of a second? And how are the Castro instructions now? Are they straightforward?
Castro?
Amita's dream is to find out something completely new about how the universe got here. She's doing postdoctoral research at CERN, and she joins more than 10,000 visiting scientists. CERN's biggest claim to fame, the Large Hadron Collider, a 27-kilometer-wide particle accelerator. Inside it, beams are smashed together from opposite directions at nearly the speed of light, recreating what happened in the moments following the Big Bang.
This is a new energy frontier. We're looking forward to seeing all kinds of exciting physics, so this is the place to be.
Amita's place in CERN is at CMS, the experiment at the Center for Research. CMS is like a big camera. It takes millions of pictures of colliding particles every second. Amita's job is to track down the pictures or particles we're studying. Sounds like a tough job to me, but for Amita, that's the easy part.
I would say the challenges are more personal. Being away, my family's in the United States. I have a 3-year-old niece I'd like to spend time with. I was actually offered a job at another laboratory in the United States. I mean, I would like to be close to my family, which is in the United States, but just to be here for this, I turned it down. So it's that, when you choose something over family, it has to be exciting.
Thankfully, Amita's family understands. Her dad is a physicist too. For them, the sacrifice is worth it, especially on days like March 30th of this year. Amita was there when CERN reached a milestone, colliding particles at the fastest energy ever recorded, 3.5 trillion electron volts.
We'd been here for 36 hours, some of us nonstop, and it felt like having a baby.
That was also the birth of a new era in particle physics, putting Amita and her colleagues one step closer to finding the elusive Higgs boson, nicknamed the God particle.
And the reason we're looking for the Higgs boson is because it's supposed to give mass to the universe. I mean, so, we know that everything weighs, or everything has a mass, but where does that mass come from? These things scatter, and they go far, and you have to stop them. You have to capture them.
That's why the CERN detectors are so huge. I still can't believe the size of the CMS detector. It's 21 meters tall and weighs the same as 30 jumbo jets. And yet, Amita calls it her baby.
You sort of become attached to your detector after a while.
I feel so lucky right now. The fact that I'm even standing here is extremely rare. Some of the scientists who've been working on the Large Hadron Collider have actually never seen this in person. The only reason why I'm here right now is because they shut this particular detector down once every 6 weeks, but I was just as excited as Amita to see that detector, and I'm not even a physicist. It turns out the inspiration wasn't in the formulas or the equations. isn't the idea that there's so much more out there in the world that we don't know about, and that there are people like Amita dedicating their lives to something they can't even see.
I just think it's the coolest thing. It's not just the Earth that's your playing field, it's the universe.
When Marcus was playing this traditional Bavarian song on the sitar, I had a moment where I closed my eyes and I could picture this place 300 years ago. It's the same place where Marcus's ancestors have lived for generations in rural Germany, and it felt like such an honor to meet somebody so connected to their roots.
When I come, when it's a museum closed and you come to this place and you're sitting and you heard nothing. It's a relaxed place.
I have a feeling if these walls could talk, they'd tell you how Marcus built them from the ground up. Marcus founded this museum to pay tribute to his Bavarian ancestors and help others connect to their roots. Marcus has reconstructed and restored these historic buildings inside and out. Some are as much as 400 years old.
My father, he is also a carpenter for painting, for old pictures restoration. And this is always my dream. I make the same job. But skiing is coming.
Marcus put on his first pair of skis at just 2 years old. Little did he know he'd become an Olympic gold medalist twice. At the Lillehammer Olympics in 1994, Marcus won gold in both the Super G and the Giant Slalom. And guess what? You'll find those Olympic skis in the museum too.
After my ski career, I come back in my home and find the culture, all the tradition what we have is going down always a little more, and we have a so old tradition, and I want something give back for my area. We have the history. We are the first city for touristic skiing. On the 1870, we have the first hotel in this area where a skier is coming, and this is a great history.
Marcus wanted to make all that history of the place he grew up come alive, so he began constructing his museum. He started with this house, and it was just Marcus and one other carpenter who built the whole thing board by board.
Now we can look how is the design from the building in the original place. Look at here, and this is amazing. It's a lot of work. Normal, I'm sportsman. I'm always, when you're working very hard, you come faster up, but not for this system. When you're building, you can't faster. It's not possible. You make so many mistakes, and you need more time. And that's what most time I need for learn. For one house, we need 3 to 7 years from the finished, so for the beginning to the finished.
I think this is what amazes me most. These boards are in the exact same place as they were in the original house, because when Marcus takes down the original building, he takes care to number every single board so that when he reconstructs the building here at the museum, every board is put in the exact same order. And to me, that is just so much work, but Marcus swears that the secret is all in the detail.
The feeling in the old house is so different to the new one. This is life. When you're thinking the last 500 years, how much people live in this place, how much people is laugh or have a bad time or problems or smiling, or this is so many stories you have in this, and this is a great feeling. You are also one small time you live also in this house.
100,000 people visit the Marcus Wassmeyer Museum every summer. They pass through a few centuries in a few hours. They get to see and experience the past, getting a taste for the life of a Bavarian farmer, and of course some good old-fashioned brew. Marcus is reaching out to younger generations with his museum, and he built on that last year by being a part of the first ever Dekeyser&Friends project. He invited a group of young people from around the world to help rebuild a 400-year-old farmhouse. In just 3 months, this is what they built together.
It's a whole of the world working on one place and is harmony. And this is perfect. Everybody can learn from this one.
What I learned from Marcus and his museum is that I really have a lot to be thankful for, considering the time that I live in now. But in another way, I feel like the ancestors were the lucky ones, so connected to the world around them. And I'm thankful that Marcus has made it possible for myself and others to be a part of that history while also making a history of his own.
My whole life, I am 100 years old, it's my dream. And I think I have also working on this. The dream is never over.
Once I'm pragmatic, so very practical person, and that's why I get papers for the bulletin boards for my project. Another would be weird, so you can imagine how weird it is for someone to actually go around getting papers from other people's bulletin boards and asking people for their receipts. So hello. And third would be just. I would say just because I always aim for equality in everything. My dreams, because I think that every day is a step going towards my dream. So something I'm excited because maybe someday when I wake up, my dream is already fulfilled. My biggest challenge is probably being able to balance everything. I do some caving, I do some biking, I do the Greenwich project, and then I do work, and then somehow even studies. And for me, it's very important that I do all these things because it's what defines me. Probably recycle paper for the rest of my life. It not only helps the environment, but it's very therapeutic. So, yes, I want to do it for the rest of my life. What inspires me is the idea that as a very small person, as one person on Earth and even the universe, I can still do a lot of things that will last beyond my years here on Earth.
Welcome back to the present here in Germany. I know I learned a lot this week about the value of looking into the past, and I think I'm going to try and get a little bit more connected to my roots from now on. As for my future, I'm actually headed to London next to meet two people who don't need words to express themselves. To understand what I mean, you'll just have to tune in next time, and with that, I'm going to go check out the sites here at the Summer Festival at the Marcus Bavarian Museum. Thanks for watching.